I'd say just get out there. I overthought about it way too much.
These are all our stops, all the amazing people that we met along the way.
And then these are our curtains. I made these with a cork material.
So our bus costs us right around $12,000 just for the shuttle bus.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Mike, and we're unboxing life with Mike and Sarah. And right behind us is Franklin, the shuttle bus. Let's go take a tour on the inside of our bus. One of our favorite parts of our bus build is our kitchen. As you know, I feel like that's everyone's favorite part. We always try to make sure to have as much countertop space as we possibly could in this build. So we have this stove that we actually turned, so that way it's only a 2-burner like that. Then we have our sink area, which is awesome. It's a deep well sink, and we also have this cool thing that's actually show you right here. It is actually, you push it down and the water shoots up out of it to clean all your glassware, which is super simple, really easy to use. Over here we do have our water filtration system, so it filters the water so we have drinkable water, nice and cold. And then one of our favorite things is we do have our little salt container with our little salted pig on top. Makes it real organized so that we have everything ready where we need it. Everything runs off hot water. So we have our propane water tank right here. It is tankless, works amazing. Never had an issue with it. Then we call this our junk drawer, but it's actually pretty well organized. Some people are jealous. Right here we do have all our spices, all labeled, all organized, really simple to get to. Sarah's favorite drawer is actually the junk drawer right here of candy. So we have everything from marshmallows to Twix to anything galore of candy you can find in there. And then up here is my favorite part. It's all our upper cabinet storage, which uses all these pistons. That way they stay open on you. And we have lights on the inside and lights underneath. So at nighttime, we'll be able to see our stuff. One of our favorite parts about this build is you have this push-up outlet. So then that way, all we have to do is go underneath here, grab our blender, set it up, perfect, power. It's that simple. One of our favorite parts about the build is actually this fridge. A lot of people come in here and they can't believe we have almost a house-sized fridge. So if you open it up, you can see this freezer is about the size of most bus builds fridges. And then the fridge down below, it's filled, it's stocked. You have everything that you need here and more. So we have tons of leftovers, which is amazing in our build. I mean, it runs off 12 volts, so we have no issues at all with electricity with it. Only about 100 watts an hour. And if we have enough sun, it's not even using anything.
So I grew up in Salem, Oregon, and then I moved to Florida for 4 years, and that's where I met him, and that's where I learned about van life. Before meeting him, I didn't even know about bus life, van life, any of that.
So true. So for me, I grew up in Boston, and I grew up there my whole entire life, and I moved to Florida right after COVID. But during COVID, I actually fell in love with van life because I built my first van, a ProMaster. Kind of fell in love with it, traveled across the country with my little brother. It was an amazing vacation. Drove all the way from Maine, all the way to Cali, then down to Florida. Sold that van, sadly. Then I lived full-time in Florida, but then I got to meet this amazing woman, Sarah. And then I convinced her about bus life because I remember how fun it was in the van. This is double my van. It's huge. We have a shower and everything. So it's amazing. And I'm so glad that she's on board now. So our bus costs us right around $12,000 just for the shuttle bus. We actually had to fly all the way to Atlanta, Georgia when we were living in Orlando. So the bus was about 12 grand. Then we put about, I think around 15 grand into the build. So then right there, you're about 27 grand into it. That's pretty roughly. And honestly, that's cheaper than you can get like a Nissan Altima nowadays. Like honestly, it's a good price. We've had no issues, knock on wood. It has about 80,000 miles on it. But like I said, that's our build. I mean, it came out to an awesome deal. Alright, one of my favorite parts of the build is my electronic storage cabinet. So right inside here, we have everything from my game systems, my PS4, my Xbox One, anything videography wise. I do videography part-time, so I do have all my stuff right here. So I have all my camera equipment, my drone, all the accessories. Up in front here is these are all our travels we've been to so far. We've been traveling on the road for almost 3 months now. So these are all our stops, all the amazing people that we met along the way. And then right behind here is kind of like Sarah's storage for her earring business that she does. She makes handmade jewelry. So this is her storage there. Some more photography stuff. Tons of board games. We love board games, so we have all that storage there. On the left of me, we have the bus rules. No shoes, clean up, no yelling, love nature, and just relax. And then once you step into the bus, you'll be welcome to our dinette area, which is amazing because this actually can be taken out, pushed down, and turned into a second bed. Right here, we do have the TV that's connected to all the game systems, and it's even connected to the front radio up ahead. So if I'm driving for a long period of time, Sarah can watch a movie, she can relax. Then right above me is our projector. The beautiful projector screen. We set it up right here, right on top of the fridge, or right here, and plug it right into our power outlet. And we have everything right there for us. Underneath is all our storage. So this is our storage department for all the electronics. You lift it up and you'll be able to see everything from our Victron unit to our MPPT Plus charge controller, which is 60 amps. Then over here, we have our storage for all our winter clothes, all our sweatshirts, whenever it gets cold at night. Then we also have our storage area for more of Sarah's earring business stuff. So on top of the roof, we have about 600 watts of solar panels. So that's 200 watts each, and we have about 3 panels up there. And then underneath, we only have one battery at the moment of 200 amps. We want to get another 200 amps, so that way it makes it to a 400 amp battery system. It'll probably help us in the long run when we have some of those rainy days where you don't get full sunlight. Then we also have our DC to DC charger in there, which is a 40 amp charger system. Then on the other side of the bus, we'll have our shower. Runs off hot water again. You just turn on the propane water heater. We have our full shower. It's tiled on one wall, and then you have the FRP boards on the other sides. It's nice. It's simple. We have our hair, body, and conditioner compartment, and then of course we have our portable toilet. So whenever we want to take a nice long shower, we just take it out, put the mat out, and jump on in. So we decided to bring in some nature from the outside in. But the real reason is some of these walls, it was hard to finish completely. So there's a little bit of unfinished plywood behind this, but you wouldn't know that. It's completely beautiful with this green hedge coming all the way across, coming over here, hedge wall down here. It just makes it more warm feeling, and you actually bring nature indoors. So that's what we really liked about it. So right here we have a max air fan. Almost every build I've ever seen, they install them. It's super easy to install, runs off the 12 volt system, barely draws anything really. I think at max power draws maybe 30 watts. We love it. And then of course, as you can see, this whole place, it kind of looks like a upside down boat sometimes of all the planks of wood that we have in here. So these are all our pine pieces of wood. They're about, I'd say, 5.5 wide by about 8 or 9 feet long. They're the hardest thing that we really installed on our bus. So we even had it come down and then loop onto the wall. And then this whole front area, of course, is covered in it as well. It's a pretty good insulator too, because it's about, I think, 1.25 inches thick. So it's a pretty thick piece of wood.
So on the road, I make earrings. So everywhere we stop on the side of the road, I pick wildflowers and I press them in the bus, and then I make them into resin earrings. So pro of doing my earrings on the road is I can get as many wildflowers as I can. I try not to pick too many because nature, but it's really easy to do it on the road, and you get a whole bunch of kinds, making it really unique. A con would be I try to do it when he's driving to pass time, but this bus shakes up and down, so it can be challenging trying to stay steady.
Yeah, so true. This lifestyle, we're hoping that we could do it full time as long as we possibly can. It's a little tough, of course, not having a stable income and not having a job that you can really depend on all the time. Like Sarah was saying, she does have her earring business, and I do DJing on the side at weddings. But it's like one of those things, like maybe by the time we're really invested in living full time, we'll get like our Starlink, we'll be able to have a remote job, and then the income can come in smoother. Other than that, we're lucky that our family lives in the Pacific Northwest, so we get to stay there with them whenever we feel like it, kind of relax, kind of get out of the bus for maybe a week or so. But we try to live on it as long as we can. So.
Another thing in the future, once we get that financial part, is to get land, build Airbnbs out of buses. I think that'd really fun.
You can't tell them all our secrets though, but yes. Hopefully long term we'd love to have like a homestead kind of set up where we have an Airbnb that we can still live the bus life, but also invite other people to live it with us.
Welcome to the bedroom. So over here we have a full-length mirror, and behind it we have some storage, and we have the diesel heater down here. It's not installed yet, but because it's summertime, but Michael will get to it. And then over here we have a cork board where we've been putting our little pictures of our travels. There's a lot more room for adventure to fill up there. And then here's the bed. We were originally gonna paint it white, but then I got the idea to stain a bamboo mat, and we threw that up there, and I actually really love it because it ties in the floor and the lighter wood up here. So we have a full XL bed, which we really love. It's actually like the most comfortable bed I've ever slept on, which is nice. We have our switches that has all our lights to our fan. We have a light that goes down to our garage. We have this cute little sign that has where we had our first date and then where Michael proposed to me, which is really cool. Then we have another Air Max fan up here above the bed, which is always nice because when we're trying to sleep, it's always nice to have that flow of air. And then we have the factory made AC that came with the bus, and it makes it really cold in here. It can get down to 55 degrees. And we have these hooks so that way we can put a curtain up and we can just chill on our bed, and it gets super cold on the really hot days. Alright, so now we're in our hallway area. So in a lot of rigs, people make their beds their end part of their bus, but we decided to switch ours to horizontal, and so it created this little hallway for us. So now we have this wardrobe that we found on Facebook Marketplace, and I refurbished it all, and I made little dried flower resin knobs, which I'm obsessed with. So if we open this up, this is where we have all our hanging clothes, and that's also where I store my skincare and my makeup, so it's a really nice place to put a lot of extra stuff in there as well as storage. And then going this way, we have some more storage for our clothes, and I have a little bench. Alright, and then we installed this fold-out desk, and this is where I create all my earrings on the road. It's really nice because it has all this storage in here. I can fit up a lot of my earring supplies in there, which is nice. And then these are our curtains. I made these with a cork material. And then these leather straps. They're pretty easy. And then you just roll them up. And then you can just undo these and they come down. Alright, so now we're in the exterior. We have these two e-bikes, which is really nice since we have such a big rig. We like to camp out places and then take the e-bikes into town. It makes it really easy for us to do stuff in town that it's fun. So in the storage space, we have our water tank. We have a 40-gallon water tank in there. We have all my setup for my earring business for markets. We have his DJing equipment in there as well. So we have an 8 by 6 foot rooftop deck, which is really nice because in the morning we like to go up there, have some hot chocolate. Sometimes I do my makeup up there, just have a relaxing morning. And the sunsets are always the best up there. I think we've gotten like 8 people up there at once. I'd say just get out there. I overthought about it way too much. And if you give yourself a deadline like we did this in 90 days, insane. Which made us do it. And if there was ever a problem or if you end up not liking it, like all you have to do is sell your bus and go back to normal life. Like it's not that hard.
All I can say is we were working really well-paying jobs and we left those. It's not as hard as you think. save up the money, put the time aside, build the bus into a deadline like we did, and then just get yourself out there. Like Sarah said, it is scary at first, but then once you're out here, you're living life, and you don't have to worry about a 9-to-5 job. You don't have to worry about the work grind. And worst case scenario, if it's not for you, flip the bus and you might even make a profit.
Thank you guys so much for stopping in with us today. If you want to follow our travels, follow me on TikTok at Sarah Coakley. You can see our bus travels, and it also has my Coakley collection earrings on there if you'd like to buy some.
Like Sarah's saying, we have all the social medias is under Unboxing Life Official. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Hopefully everything will be down below for the link for you guys to check it out. Thanks again for seeing our home on wheels, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the road.